Angelo, we've covered a lot of great information. Here's one that I've heard repeatedly, and I know some of the folks out there that are talking. They'll bump up against somebody, because again, this is not a new concept. Your company and other companies out there have been talking about, mortgage acceleration, debt elimination for years. And I've had people say to me, I've heard all about that. You have to get a line of credit. I didn't qualify. And I understand that a line of credit does work very well. In fact, it's very effective in helping people to get out of debt. But one of the things that I loved about your program that I want to make sure everyone hears clearly is that you do not need a line of credit for this to work. Is that a fair way to say it?
That's actually correct, because I know, based on all the years that I have been involved in marketing a platform like this one, that there's a lot of misconceptions. And one of the biggest misconceptions that's out there is that you must get a line of credit. Now, there are other products out there on the market where a line of credit is key and it's an essential part of the strategy that they teach. But with MonyWize, we don't have that requirement. Right. In fact, if you have a simple checking account, savings account where you can write checks against it, that's all you need. So a line of credit is not necessary.
That's awesome. And I want to be clear for everybody. So hear me carefully. You don't need a line of credit to benefit from this software. If you have a checking account, you could use that. And there are people that are unbankable. They can't get another credit card. They don't have a checking account. You told me they could actually create a banking program to work with this software by getting a prepaid debit card, a prepaid Visa card from somewhere like Walmart, and it would work with this software. Is that a fair way to describe it?
Right. We realized several years back when the housing crisis hit, the mortgage and the credit crunch that took place, that a lot of people just simply could not qualify for a home equity line of credit. And the reality was most companies were just turning down these clients. I'm sorry, we can't help you, etc. But what we did is we were proactive. And what we did is we redesigned the mathematical algorithms so that the mathematical algorithms would work with a traditional checking account, a savings account, like I mentioned, so long as you could write checks against it. But even more importantly, a line of credit doesn't necessarily mean it has to be a home equity line. A line of credit could be a credit card. Right. This program will work with someone who uses a credit card as their acceleration account. And then you've got a whole category of individuals, the unbankables that you mentioned. These people can't qualify for a line of credit, can't get a credit card, and can't even open a bank account. Well, the way that we redesigned the platform, these individuals can actually go and get a prepaid credit card and use that as their acceleration account.
And if you wonder why I'm smiling, it's again, there's a reason why Angelo is sitting here right now, why I chose Angelo and his product when I started my own network marketing company. And it's funny, you made me laugh when you said that. If you think this is a joke, I recommend go watch a movie called The Big Short. If you think that this all just happened to you, it was a mess nationwide, it was by design, and you'll understand where the banks and the mortgage companies are compared to the average person. But you bring up a great point. When the housing crisis happened and all of the economy fell apart, who's paying the bill on that? Who's suffering? The people who are now unbankable. They can't get a home, they're renting, they can't get ahead. This program, specifically Angelo software, is designed for you. And let's just be honest, that's the network marketing community. The network marketing community is made up of people who are coming into the industry saying, hey, something bad happened and I need to make extra money. I need to make extra money to make ends meet. And that's why, for me, we're solving two huge problems. One, we're fixing the network marketing model. We're fixing, with MonyWize, the opportunity for the average person to come in and get a victory for the first time in their career. But we're doing it in a way where we're taking the financial crisis that had nothing to do with network marketing, that hit the masses, and giving you a platform that will work for you if you are in that bottom rung, that unbankable rung. But you can get access to cash and create a prepaid debit card somewhere like Walmart. Fair assumption?
Yes, correct.
That's why MonyWize is the product for you as a retail customer, as well as an opportunity if you're looking for home-based business. So Angelo, there's another question that comes up all the time. People say, okay, I get this. The company's been selling it for $3,500. You're offering it for $30 a month, $29.99. what happens if I use it for a couple of months, then I don't need it anymore. And I laugh and I go, really? I say, let me put it to you this way. I got a pretty good math brain, but I promise you, I cannot do all of the computer algorithm calculations myself. And this is a living, breathing creature because your cash flow, your debts, your expenses, it is fluid and it's going to change. Just a funny, and I'm going to let you get to this answer, but a funny statement. How do you prepare for emergencies? You have your monthly expenses and they're fixed. You have your monthly debts, but all of a sudden your car breaks down and you need extra money for that. Or you have an unusually high electric bill or phone bill or whatever. So the computer algorithm will adjust for the emergency situations that are out of the ordinary. Fair statement?
Life happens, and that's the reality. And you have to be able to adapt, and you have to be able to change your plan whenever it's appropriate. Here's the thing. I've heard this throughout my entire career, and it's not just in regards to our financial software platform, but in the mortgage industry, in the real estate industry, there's always someone that's going to say, hey, I can do it myself.
Right.
And the reality is this. If it were that simple, if we could all do it ourselves, then we would all be set for life. We would all be prepared for our retirement. The most startling statistic that I ever hear, and it comes in, year out, which is 95% of the people by age 65 are either dead or dead broke.
Right.
And if the reality is, if we could all just do it ourselves, why does that statistic even exist?
Well, and I'll take it a step further because, the bottom line is one is lack of knowledge. So the fact that you don't know what you don't know is part of the problem. But then people say things like, well, I'll just use it for a couple of months and then I won't need it anymore. And rather than argue with them, I go, let me ask you a question. How does one lose weight and get in shape? It's not rocket science. Eat less, exercise more. So why is 65 to 75% of America overweight and obese? No discipline. It's not that they don't understand the concept, it's lack of discipline. So financial fitness and physical fitness are not that different. There's awareness and then there's the actual discipline. If you joined a gym and hired a personal trainer, your chances of being in shape at least go up versus the person sitting at home who bought the Nordic track, who bought the cross trainer, who bought all the equipment that now they hang their clothes from because they don't use it. So with this software, it's the same concept. For $29.99, you have a financial fitness trainer that's going to track your income and your expenses and give you some guidance. If you choose not to follow it, then that's your choice. But the odds are, if it's working, if you see, here's the blueprint, and you start to experience that success, you're going to stay with it. And the reason I say that is whether you wanted to hire a trainer at the gym or not, if you did use that trainer for a couple of months and you started to lose weight, you started to get in shape, and people started to compliment you, you'd keep that gym membership and that trainer because it felt good and you got good results. Same thing with our financial software. If for a couple of months you went from being financially stressed and clueless, which is where most people are, that's why they say things like, I don't have any money, to actually starting to see things happen. Not that you're out of debt right away, but you can start to, is it a fair assumption that after the blueprint is created in a couple of months, you can start to see some progress?
Here's what it boils down to, and you said the correct word. It boils down to discipline.
Right.
Most people, the average person, doesn't even know how to balance a checkbook.
Right.
When you stop and you think about that, that is unreal. I mean, there's really no excuse for that, but that's the reality. In my career in loss mitigation, where I helped a lot of people overcome their financial challenges, the stress, redistributed their discretionary income, negotiated their debt down, etc., to help them overcome the financial challenges that they were in, many people, when I asked them about, did they have a budget? Did they follow a budget? There were people that said, well, I think I'm doing good. I don't really follow a budget, but so long as I don't get a letter in the mail from my bank saying that my bank account has been overdrawn,
or
I'm doing okay. Or a shut-off notice from my utility companies, etc. And we can laugh about that and we can joke about that, but it happens. It's real, and it happens more often than you might think.